Okay, great. Great. Thank you very much, Declan, and lovely to meet you all this morning on a Saturday morning. I'm sure you're quite disappointed that I'm not actually a bot. Or maybe perhaps somewhere along the way you might think, oh God, he could be. Um, but we're not that good. Yeah, so let me try and share a couple of slides with you. And it is really, I mean, this is really just kind of an introductory, and I assume that this is what you've been going through over the last couple of hours. Is just getting an overview of what the diploma looks like and how it is. So yeah, look, this is AI in credit management, and that scares probably the life out of a lot of us right now, and the whole world of AI, and we keep seeing it, and hearing about it and hearing the dangers about it. But basically, what we're going to look at over the next few weeks is we're just going to look at how we can use AI to help us in our roles in credit management. And this is just a kind of an overview of what the module is going to cover. I'm going to ask you for a little bit of feedback from you guys just fairly shortly. I'm just going to put a couple of questions up on the screen and just give you a couple of minutes to just give me a bit of a feel about where you sit currently with AI, but we'll come to that. You can put your answers into the chat if you don't mind. Um, but just basically, I suppose, very quickly, just a little bit about me. So I am mainly kind of AI leadership consultant. I've been working for myself for about 7 years now, and some of the people at the bottom, the companies at the bottom of are the clients that I work with, and all at various different stages of their AI journey. So like the likes of EY are constantly talking about AI. The HSC are frightened their lives out of it. Vodafone, Accenture, Microsoft, all kind of pulling into it. The county councils all love to do it, but terrified as well. But my background really is all about running credit management teams. So I'm not kind of a tech genius here. You won't find me down in the basement of a big building there, just typing away on a keyboard. My whole thing is all about credit management. And I've worked in that space for so long. But I have been using AI probably for the last few years, and it is significantly streamlining how I perform my duties for my clients. So now what I'm doing is I'm going into credit management operations for various different organizations, and I'm helping them remove a lot of the repetitive type of work. So really what this is, it's not a tech conversation, that we're going to have here. I'm not going to be using great big fancy buzzwords and talking about version X.3 or whatever it is. We're going to be talking about really kind of clear and simple ways to use AI to make your daily activities as easy and as simple as possible. And that's it. So that's that's me. Here is my assistant. And this is our mascot for the course. This is Aiden, or you might get it, Aiden, Aiden. But I call him Aiden. And there he is rushing off there with the cash in his hand. And that's kind of what we're all looking at these days. And Aiden is going to pop along to the bottom of the screen here throughout every one of our modules, and he will he'll keep me in check. He's going to make sure that you can see how far along we are with the module. And when we get to the finish line, I'm done, I'm out of there, and you can get back to your lives. But that's Aiden. He's going to be our course mascot, and he just tracks along the screen just so you can see how far we have left in the module. So and he'll pop up every now and again just to upset things. So what is this module about? Um, Basically, look, big thing about AI, saving hours on repetitive work. That is just a massive part of our lives in credit management. This is not, I'm not going to go through theory. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm just going to try and help save you time. We're all about kind of spotting errors. We've spent so much time going through Excel sheets and and scrolling down through, rows and rows and rows and rows of data, trying to find the errors or trying to find the customers we want to get in touch with. AI is going to help us do all of that. AI will give us a way of predicting customer behavior. Later on in the course, I'll show you um, a piece of work I did for a county council in relation to commercial rates. And what we've done is we've created a full list of all the payments between 23, 24, 25. And now what it does is in 26, as they upload the payments on a daily basis, what it does then is it looks back at all of those years and it looks to the 21st of February, say today, and it compares what was paid in those previous years on the 21st of February in those previous years so that the credit controllers can then say, oh, such a company is slipping a bit, or they just haven't paid as much as they should have done at this stage. And commercial rates, if you're familiar with them, it's a standard amount every year. So they should be paying the same every year. So this allows them to cut through thousands and thousands and thousands of customers to identify the ones that need to get a phone call. We're going to look at automating processes and how AI will help you how AI will help you to automate your processes and automate your reminders. And we're going to look at a couple of Power Apps. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with Microsoft Power Apps, but one in particular in there is one called Power Automate. And we're going to show you how to set that up. It's a bit techy. We'll give you all the instructions on it. You can probably go to your IT team. Maybe some of you are using it already, but we'll be able to show you how to set this up. And what this will do is this will work off your ledger that's on your shared drive, and it will send your reminder emails or your reminder letters for you, so you don't have to do it, and it will send it when it's time to send it. So as a say an invoice goes 30 days overdue, day 31, the email's gone. You don't have to do anything. It's gone for you. So we'll show you how to do all of that. And the key bit to it is about boosting productivity. We need to get you guys away from the mundane and repetitive type of work and get you speaking to your customers, and that's the kind of key bit about this AI. I've probably covered it in a minute, I can't remember, but AI is not here to replace you. AI is just allowed here to give you more time to have better, meaningful relationships with your customers. That's what it's all about. The journey. So it's Monday the 3rd, I think, or 2nd of March, Monday week. We're going to do a full introduction of AI. We're going to look back at where AI started. AI is not new. I'm sure some of you maybe know that, some of you don't. It is not new. So we're going to show you how far back it goes, and it goes back quite a few years. We're going to look at some of the prompts that you should be using within the likes of our ChatGPTs or any of those other AI engines. We're looking at how you're going to use it for checking data, for assessing customer data, for customer data, reviewing your spreadsheets and making sure that your data is all correct. Again, we mentioned automating processes. AI as your personal assistant we'll look at. And that's the way you should look at AI. The best way I could describe AI, it is probably the most enthusiastic, little bit annoying intern that you've ever had. This person that's in at like 7:30 in the morning before you, leaves at 6 o'clock after you. No matter what you give them to do, they are running at it and running at it, and you kind of turn your eyes up at them all the time. But they do great work for you. But the thing about it is you gotta keep an eye on them. You gotta keep an eye on them. You're not sending them into a boardroom meeting for you. You'll take all the work they've done, but you'll give it oversight. You'll watch it. And that's what AI is. It will work its heart out for you, but it will make mistakes. There's no question about that. And it will make assumptions that aren't right. So you just it is your assistant. You just got to watch it. We're going to look at things like voice calls, how the future of AI will may look, is beginning to look. Um, we look at how we can organize your time and all your time management. You'll be amazed at things that it can do for you. And then, a big one is going to be about AI and spreadsheets. And funnily enough, before we even get into AI and spreadsheets, it's already there on your spreadsheets. And we'll show you how to do all that analysis by the click of a button. It's already sitting there in Excel. You just possibly don't know where to find it. But by a click of a button, all of your graphs, all of your analysis, all of that is already sitting there in Excel. So we're gonna show you. Um, so very quickly then, we got a couple of questions. Two on each side. I'm going to just give you a couple of minutes, if you don't mind, and if you can throw them into the chat, that would be fantastic. But here's the first one. I just want to kind of get an idea where you're sitting. So how familiar are you with artificial intelligence in general? And have you ever used AI in your work as a credit manager? Now, I'm going to see because I'm sharing if I'm able to see comments. I am. So if you can put your answers into the chat there, that might give me an idea of, yeah, there's going to be so many different levels of AI. I mean, people are possibly using it now. People are um, people are probably using it quite advanced. Some people have never used it at all. And I just want to make sure that I'm not at all and never excellent. So that's we're going to really start at a granular basis here. We're going to really explain it. Now, some people who are using it will say, "Ah, come on, Darrell, that's very boring. Now I know all this. I get you know it, but a lot of people don't." And so, yeah, look, this is fantastic. On a scale of 1 to 10, around 4, lots of no's. Um, have an understanding. Question 2, ever use it in your work? No, no, okay. I'm familiar with AI in both personal and work. In work, I've used it to collate financial information to help reach credit decisions. Excellent, excellent. And we're going to be showing you that as well. Okay. I like this. Use it frequently more so for writing emails for customers, but not so much on reports. Yeah, do you know what? We'll probably show you how to use your emails in such a way. AI is fantastic for um, when you get that email that it's the one that you always feel that you have to respond to immediately because they've just upset you and you have to really, and that's the time that you really shouldn't be responding to an email. Well, AI is great at calming it down. So, I mean, we'll be able to show you how to get all of these emails in place. We'll look at, you can get emails that are pages and pages long from people in work. We probably all know the people who send them, and you can ask AI to get through it and find out, pull out all the tasks that are needed, pull out all the priorities for you and help you with that rather than having to go through a massive big email. And because some people will sit all night writing emails and they're in your inbox the minute you walk in the morning. So AI will do all of that type of stuff for you. And so that's what makes it fantastic as a personal assistant. Just another quick question then. Um, and if you'll indulge me with this, so look, what's your biggest feeling about AI in credit management, and what area or which area would you most like AI to help? We still have time to mold this module as well. So based on your feedback, we can make sure that we bring in things that are a little bit more relevant. So you take a couple of minutes to that, that'd be fantastic. Thank you. I'll have a sip of coffee. Okay to say it scares the life out of you. Excited to put it into action. Excellent. Yeah, yeah. curiosity and using it correctly. Curious. Oh yeah, and a big thing about AI, which we'll talk about, is the governance of it. So you gotta look at the oversight, the security, and the governance. I don't know if your companies, if they're bringing in AI or Copilot, are categorizing documentation or doing anything like this. There's a lot in there that you don't want getting from within your company. If you're just putting company information straight into your own chat GPT, that's visible to anybody. So you got to be careful of that if it is company information, that once your company brings in, say, a co-pilot, it's locked down within your own kind of environment. So yeah, help come to credit decisions. Absolutely. That's a big thing in reporting and assessments. Um, you create dashboards. Yeah, do you know what it can? Yeah. Um, it's not great. If you think about it, it'll give you all of the data. It'll help you put the data together. But aesthetically, it's not. It's not. It's no Leonardo da Vinci. It'll give you like real raw stuff. But if you want your dashboards to be a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, you might have to do the heavy lifting on that. But it'll direct you and it'll help you. There's no question about that. Analyzing the data security exactly. Here's what I can bring up. Yeah, fantastic. Reports and automating manual processes. We're going to be all over that in this module. So, I mean, if you do get a chance, if you want to talk about automating, is not just about AI. So, if you get an opportunity while we're going through this module to check out Power Automate, I assume you're in companies that all have Microsoft licensing. You probably have all these Power Apps in your licensing. So you don't need AI to do the automation. But what AI can do for you is it can create the automation workflows that you can feed into the likes of Power Automate. And that will make life so much easier for you. Great for quick analysis, probably Q4 emails. um, Let me see. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Q4 email question for emails. Emails are an absolute nightmare, and there's just far too many of them. And people just don't have email etiquette. And it's just gone into a yeah. Look, AI is going to help you out with this. So yeah. So look, basically, as we discussed, thank you for all of those answers. That kind of gives me really good idea. So look, what does AI really mean? And that's the bit that you know what does it look like in credit? I mean, when we talk about it, we're not talking about the robots running around the show, running the show or some kind of distant kind of sci-fi movie and all of this. What it is great for is that those administrative tasks that are are maybe you spend a half a day doing when the other half of your day is on the meaningful work of speaking to customers. And it will do all of the assessments. Excuse me, it will do all the assessments. It will point you in the right direction so that you're not having to spend your whole day trying to figure out what I need to do. It will plan your day for you. It will come in and will look. We did show, excuse me, a bit of a cough. We did show previously about how you can upload your calendar into AI and it will sort out your calendar for you. And it'll tell you, maybe you've got no real time for heavy work here, because you're jumping in and out of meetings. You've got only 20 minutes between each meetings. So the work that you're going to do in between that is going to be very non-productive. And so it'll help you kind of align how you do things. Certainly, with the volume of emails that we get, it'll help you with all of that, and it'll help you organize your day. But it's not a scary thing. This is where it sits. It sits here with as your assistant. It sits there beside you, just helping you along the way. But it's just really, what we'd like to get from these modules is just, you having the comfort to be able to trust it to a certain level, to be able to give it those tasks for you, to be able for you to just come in and do the most important things. So we're talking about tools that'll help you, check data, streamline processes, and just get more done with less effort. Um, you know, as we said earlier, AI is just like a junior colleague. Very quick, really enthusiastic. It doesn't complain, but does make mistakes, and you've got to be there to keep an eye on it. And there's a wonderful thing about, I was speaking to somebody not so long ago, because a large part of my work is around leadership. And we talk about feedback. And we've all had been in those positions. I think if you manage a team in any way, I don't like the phrase those difficult conversations, but we all know what I mean when I say those difficult conversations when it talks about feedback, when you have to tell somebody that they're not doing something the way they should be doing, and so on. And the reason why we struggle with those conversations is because we deal with emotion. And as people, we are emotional beings. But if we all took a leaf out of the book of AI, you can tell AI 1,000 times that it's got it wrong, and it will just spring back up again and go, "Oh, sorry about that. Let me try again. And how's this?" And it will just constantly keep at you. I mean, to be honest, if it was a person, it'd be really annoying. But it will just kind of, it just doesn't take them, it takes the whole emotion out of it. And if we as people did that when people were trying to provide us with feedback and we didn't take offense and we didn't complain in the canteen about somebody, if we actually listened to the feedback and then learned and grew because of that feedback, we'd learn like AI. And so there's quite a lot about AI that I kind of think as humans we should possibly take lessons from. This thing is moving fast, and it's moving fast because all of us are feeding it with information, and it is listening to every single bit of it. And that's so important. So look, this is what this is. It's like a junior colleague that will listen to absolutely everything you say, and it won't forget a bit of it. And it will constantly try and be better and better and better. And it'll only get as good as the feedback you give it, you know. And look, hey, any of you with kids, you know, whatever you tell your kid to do, it will learn from you and it will turn into a mini you, if that's all it's learning from. But AI is a lot wider than that. It will learn from so many other sources, but it will learn to be like you. And my AI, I use AI a lot, and over time it's gotten to know me. So it will it will write like me. It's used to me, my style. It's it just turns kind of God into a mini me, for want of a, I don't want to say that, but it kind of does. It just gets to know you, so it becomes a real good personal AI assistant. Um, so what will you gain from this? Um, and this module is built around a few different things. The big thing is about possibilities. AI can do anything. AI will go as far as your imagination will allow it. And that's it. That's as good as it is. And as scary as that might sound, it truly is it. I mean, if you are playing with ChatGPT, or if you've got an option, there's a free version of ChatGPT. It's a little bit behind update wise, so if you're looking for, kind of up to date information and statistics, I think it's only up to kind of 2023, 2024 kind of time. But it's the free version. You can pay for the professional version. It's not even €20 a week, a month. I mean, hopefully you'll see the benefit of it as we go on. But it will do absolutely anything you want it to. One example I'll give you: my wife is a public health nurse, and she she's not a computer person at all. And thankfully, we need people who are computer people. We need people out there who can save our lives. And her world is much more important than mine. She just doesn't get paid near what she deserves, unfortunately. But What she had to do was she needed to provide a letter to the HSE to provide further support for one of our elderly clients in the community. And it took her days and days to just come up and word it just the way she wanted to. And all we did was we just fed in purely what she emotionally felt straight into AI, and you would not believe the document that it put up. And she gave it an overview, she read it, slightly changed one or two things. It went straight into the HSE, and and the support was given straight away. It was fantastic. And those of you who've used ChatGPT, you know, and those type of that, you know the power. So whatever you believe you think it may do, it can, you know, and even if you're not certain and that your imagination doesn't stretch that far, you can ask AI, you can ask it, you know, be a little bit more imaginative for me, you know, so you don't have to worry about it. It will use your imagination for you if you allow it to. Um, Pitfalls. This is the big thing. We've got to be aware of the pitfalls. And the one thing I will always just say, just if you're not certain, just don't. Um, so we hear scary stories about AI and what AI can do, and we've heard certain stories about, I think it was the X platform and Rock, I think, and all of that. Look, you know, AI is very powerful. If it falls in the hands of wrong, of unethical people, it will do things. But you know, that's that person's imagination. We didn't say it's the imagination we all have, but people are like that, and this is what they create. AI isn't seeing it. I can't recognize the difference. What we've got to look for is the pitfalls in regulatory compliance and security within your workplace, and and also when you know also to make sure you don't get too reliant on this as well, you know, and don't trust it for everything that it gives you all the time. You know, over time, you may just go, God, this is giving me every single answer it gives me is fantastic, and then it lets you down, and it will. You know, the recent news. I think there was a judge recently just talked about telling solicitors not to rely on AI for their documentation, because it does go off in on a tangent. It hallucinates, and this is what it's called. It will make up things, you know, and your prompting sometimes will have to be, hey, don't make anything up here. You know, don't give me the sources where you are coming up with this information. So you just have to tell it and it'll go, oh, yeah, okay. But if you don't, it may just make something up for you. And there was a case in Australia not so long ago where somebody sued an airline and they had used they got hit with a trolley, one of those trolleys in the center aisle of the plane. The plane bounced a bit and the trolley, you know, came off the brake and it hit him in the shoulder. And his entire defense went in, or his entire claim went in about previous cases that had happened, and he tried to show that there was a precedent set for these type of accidents, and all of it came from AI. None of it existed. You know, the airline waited for him to get to court. The judge looked the evidence and looked for evidence that this was true, and none of it could be found. So it was all done in AI. So he made it up because AI wanted to give him an answer. There wasn't one, so it just made up an answer. And there's another case. There was another question, and this might. What time are we at? We're nearly finished, so we'll nearly leave you on this one. And the question was, somebody asked, how do you stop cancer from killing people in the world? And AI went off, and uh, after some time, it came back, and it couldn't find the answer to how they did this, how to do that. So the answer it came back was eradicate the humans, because if the humans were gone, it couldn't kill you. And that's, if you can think about, that's the mindset that it has. it is the exact answer to the question. We can't, but it's not exactly the direction we're going to go. So maybe when you think about analyzing, spreadsheets, and it may give you the correct answer, but it's just not the correct one that you want to use. So last bit here is we're just going to try and make it practical. We're going to every week we're going to just kind of point you to certain tools and say, look, give this a go, play with it. Be careful what you upload to it. What any demos that we're going to show you are going to be based on real life kind of data, but we're going to anonymize that data. So when you want to get used to it, just make sure you're anonymizing your data. Fantastic thing, writing formulas in Excel, guys. You'll be Excel whizzes in no time. This thing, like, we talk about people worrying that they're going to lose their jobs with AI, and yes, people are going to lose their jobs, but it's not going to be credit controllers. It's going to be coders, um, you know, developers, anybody who, if it's a language, a computer language that you excel in, ChatGPT knows it. There are those type of roles that are going to go. But when what I can't do is it can't replace the human to human approach. And certainly when you think about credit management, you need that relationship building skills. You need empathy, you need understanding, and it just doesn't have that for you. When we think about collections, people pay people. That's just the way it works, and it won't get in the way of that. So it'll allow you and it'll empower you to spend more time doing the human things you're good at and not worrying about all of the administrative stuff that you may be really good at, but there's a likelihood that you probably hate, because that's not why you became a credit controller in the first place. And hopefully that makes sense. So our next steps, and you can see little Aiden has finished his journey. So our next steps, really, we're going to do our next full session is going to be on an introduction to AI. So I think that's Monday week. Um, we're going to show you what it really is and how it connects into credit management. And what I'd like you to do in advance of that is maybe just think about one area in your role where you'd love to save time. That's going to be the key piece for AI. I mean, even you've got all week next week when you're going to be working. There's going to be bits in there where you go, I can't believe I'm still doing this. Like, I need to just find a way of removing all this repetitive stuff. Um, so just try and think about how you think AI may link into your current job. There will be an assignment on this at the end of the course. And the big thing we're going to be asking you to do is to open your mind and think think into the future and think about what AI can do now, what you would love it to do. Um, it's an exciting time to kind of just go, you know, it's a real exciting time. It's a real kind of green field type of thing. You can just open up your mind here and just think, could you imagine if it could do this? Like, just think 10 years ago, what we what we had 10 years ago and what we have now. So try and when you come into these modules, try and have that mindset. Think about everything that you do in your day-to-day role and go, God, I wonder if my assistant could do that for me. And let's question that and let's see if we can. So, bring those ideas with you. Let's see how we'll test to see how AI might help you. Um, and that's basically how we'll run the few modules. That's all I got.
That's fine.
I suppose have we any questions or concerns or anything you want to ask?
Yeah,
I hope that gave
what
you.
I'll do now, Tara, thank you very much. I'll stop the recording just in case anybody's too shy to go on the record. So